So, so he bought me a bottle, and then I tried it, and I was really excited because, especially in Hawaii, it's kind of a common thing. We smoke fish, we smoke meat, so I was really excited about it. But when I tried it, there really wasn't any smoke flavor, and I thought it was interesting because you cannot smoke liquid. Like liquid will not absorb a smoke flavor, but what you could do is throw things in there and then like maybe like garlic or I tried smoking bread, like a shoyu thing with bread. And the whole point was I really liked the idea of a smoke flavored shoyu. But actually, what that company was trying to do was promote how they make it. So, it takes a lot longer to make, I guess, if you smoke it versus just boiling it. But anyways, um, I really liked the idea, so I started really looking into how to create a smoke flavored shoyu. And so I've been experimenting a lot, and then I came up with a recipe. I've been kind of giving it out, and I guess it got into the hands of someone who owns a big company, and they're kind of in that industry, and they really like the idea. So the past week or so, we've been meeting, and I've been just making different versions of smoked shoyu. And man, it stinks though. When you're making it at home, my whole house smells like shoyu. Like I can't stand shoyu anymore. But it's kind of interesting. So I think, um, right, if you have ever smoked fish or smoked chicken or meat or something, um, it takes a really long time, right? Because it's a slow process of how you cook or cook the thing. The other end is there's something called liquid smoke, which is a very, very potent thing where you cannot put that on anything. You have to cook with it. And the thing with smoke is that as you cook with it, the smoke flavor will actually go away. It'll just kind of evaporate or something. So that's why the liquid smoke has to be really, really strong. And I just thought, why isn't there something that, after you cook your meal and you have your rice and stuff, you could just kind of drizzle, something on top that would kind of give it a little more subtle smoke flavor. So that was kind of neat. So I was doing it as a hobby. I started passing it around. Like Jake loves it. And a lot of local people, they like the idea. They like the flavor. But for me, it was more about the idea where I think anybody would be willing to try a smoke flavored shoyu, whether you like it or not. You'd probably be willing to try it. And I thought that was kind of the biggest point to this idea. Like I have Shima ukulele. I have my own product, right? Jake and I. But how many people would actually want to try to play the ukulele? Not everyone plays the ukulele, right? So I thought, this smoke shoyu thing could be a really big thing, and it was kind of cool. Like now I kind of feel confident that, um, I got into the right hands. Now I'm talking to a company who could actually help me make this a big thing. So the last week or so, anyways, I've been just doing this, working on this show you project, and it's kind of funny. I never thought I would. No, I haven't tried it yet. I actually, so for me, the smoke shoyu, I love it on meat and things like that. When it comes to sashimi or poke like that, I don't know. I just love the shoyu wasabi, so I feel like the smoke kind of takes away. But I've never tried it with the dried fish. I'm gonna give that a shot next time. So it's good. So actually, this is an idea that came up a long time ago, and every once in a while, I'd make a batch and I just kind of give it away. And but yeah, now it's kind of interesting where this might actually possibly turn into something. So I am very, very happy to be taking a break from that and being able to hang out with you guys and play the ukulele and teach the ukulele, something I'm more familiar with because I'm not a chef, but oh, it's fun. Okay, so let's get started. So, okay, so here's something. that I wanted to do today. It might be a little difficult for some of you guys because we're going to be using chords that are a little difficult to hold. So like one of them is a D minor 7 chord, which is basically a D minor. Okay, so I'm covering two strings. Oh, this way. I'm covering two strings here. My pointer finger goes here. And I have to add the high C note. Okay, and this is called a D minor 7 chord. Okay, you guys can try it. And another chord I'm going to use is if we slide up two spaces, this is called an E minor 7 chord. So these are the two difficult chords we're going to be using today. E minor 7 and D minor 7. Okay, Angie, hold on. Let's see. Kazu, what's up, Kazu? Let's see. Okay, Angie, I think I got you. Okay, so as we learn this song, okay, so I was kind of thinking about something. I kind of had an idea. Um, the thing about practicing is, I always say whenever you practice, you wanna, whenever you're practicing, right? Like you have to focus on something. Okay, you cannot just sit down with your ukulele and basically just kind of run through a song without thinking. Oh, there you are, Linda. Let's see. Allow record. Okay. Oh, Angie, did I miss you? I thought I got you. Let me see. Oh, maybe I got a different Angie. Let's see. Why can't I? Oh, there you are. Oh, I got the wrong Angie. There's two Angies here. Okay, got you. Okay, so you guys are familiar with that show American Idol, right? Or um, America's Got Talent, or Britain's Got Talent. I don't know if there's a Asia Got Talent, but basically, most people sing, right? And they have all these different rounds, and it's kind of like if you sing and basically, if the judges feel that they want to hear more of you, then they'll pass you, and then you go to the next round, right? And then you sing another song. And if they pass you and they like you, they want to hear more of you, then you make it to the next round, right? And eventually there's going to be a winner. So when you're practicing, okay, so let's just pretend that there's something very similar to that, but it's all ukulele. So nobody's singing, we're just going to play the ukulele. Okay, and it could start off very, very simple, like just something like this, E, D, E. Okay, so imagine 50, there's 50 contestants, okay, and we're all one of them. And everybody is going to play the simple E, D, E. Okay, now as you play it, you have to imagine you're playing it in front of these judges, okay? Now if you do this, maybe the judges will be like, I don't want to hear more. I've heard enough, you know. But if you could play it nicely, then they might say, oh, that was nice. It's just three notes, right? But even those three notes, if you imagine it like there's judges and you want to make it to the next round, because each round will actually get a little harder and harder. And then eventually when you make it to the higher stages, then you'll kind of get into playing a song. Okay, so right now it's just three notes. So you're just trying this at home? You can play it however you want. Okay, but the idea is as you play it, okay, really try to imagine, would somebody, if there's judges there, will you advance to the next round? Okay? And if you do this, probably not. Okay? So just take a minute. And what you're going to realize is even though you're only practicing 3 notes, because of your mindset, the way that you're thinking, you're going to approach these 3 notes very, very differently. Okay? You cannot think anymore. E, D, E. E, D, E. If you do that, you're probably not going to pass, right? You're pretty lucky if you pass if you just do this. Okay, so you got to try to make it sound nice. Okay, so you notice how I even use that vibrato technique? Okay, so take a minute, try it. Okay, and hopefully you guys will do this and feel like, yeah, I think I would pass. Okay, so that's the idea. And then actually, if there's anyone who feels like they wouldn't pass, now is the time you could ask questions or something, because it's just 3 notes, right? We should all be able to at least figure out how to play these 3 notes nicely and feel confident that we would, we would pass. So I would feel confident doing this. That's how I would play it. I mean, there's nothing fancy about it. It's just play it as nicely as you can. Okay, so because it's just 3 notes, if you feel like you wouldn't pass, you should definitely let me know so I can help you, right? Because if you cannot pass with these 3 notes, why move on? We need to actually get this part, and then slowly we'll do more and more and more. Okay? Oh, and then another thing I wanted to ask you guys is next week is 4th of July. Are you guys okay for lessons, or you guys all have plans? Um, I'm available if you guys are. I can't imagine right now that. Oh, okay, that's cool. So did you guys see that? Hal has uploaded the previous video. So if you guys want to check it out, if you missed it, you can. I mean, the previous workshop last week, and you can hit the link. Oh, thank you. Okay, yeah, we'll just do it next week. Yeah, even if you're busy, that's okay. But hopefully, we'll be here. All right, so actually, what I want to do is today's song. It's going to be a little difficult because I told you it's the chords, right? The chords are a little difficult. So we're actually going to play a little bit of that song. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, right? In America, I can't imagine there's any big parties going on next week, right? So, okay, sounds good. So, loving you. Okay, I'm assuming you guys all know this song. Okay, so we're gonna take it step by step. Okay, and then that's the idea though. Okay, we're gonna go just little at a time, and we're gonna think of it as this competition thing. Okay, so the first chord, we're gonna go chord at a time. So the first chord is F major 7, and what I'm doing is I'm holding the 2 top strings on space number 5. Okay, so just like this. Da, da, da. Then it goes to the E minor 7. So that's where we're going to stop. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. time. Okay, and in my head, I'm thinking, I want to play these two chords as nicely as possible because I want to pass to the next. I want to make it to the next round. Okay, so you don't want to do this, right? Right? You probably won't pass that way. So you want to get a nice. So I like this right here, this stroke. One more time. Then. Okay, so oh yeah, I didn't show the E minor 7. Sorry. So, okay, so the F major 7. So I'm holding the top two strings here in space number 5. Okay, F major 7 right here. Okay, the next one, hopefully you guys know your D minor chord. D minor is just like F, but I need to bend my middle finger to hold the D. So this is your D minor chord. But I said earlier D minor 7, and what that means is we have to add the high C. Okay, so this is your D minor 7 chord, and this is a bar chord. So if I move it up, D minor 7, D sharp minor 7, and E minor 7. So this is your E minor 7 chord right here. So F major 7, 2, 3, 4. And E minor 7 right here. Okay, so that's all we're doing right now. F major 7, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so take a minute, just try it. Very simple, just two chords. Well, it looks simple because it's just two chords, but it's not that simple because, you know, now we have to pretend we're in a competition. And if you do this, like to me, that's not really, I mean, that's not good. I wouldn't call that good, but I wouldn't call that really bad either, right? So it's kind of 50-50. Like, do you think you would pass? But the idea is, I'm pretty sure you would pass if you just hold the chords cleanly, nicely, and just gave it a good, nice stroke. Okay, watch my thumb again. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I would feel confident with this. Yeah, and I think I would pass. So I want you guys to pay attention. And then, you know what, let me just see. Okay. Okay. I'm going to play it. Okay. If you say P, that means pass. So I want everyone to just pretend you guys are the judges. Okay. P means pass. N means no pass, I guess. So you're going to write either P or N. Okay. So you guys are the judges. Okay. So this is going to be a tricky one. Okay. So listen to this. What do you guys think? No pass, okay. No. Oh, no. No. Linda pass. Thank you, Linda. So, okay, so what I tried to do was make it kind of like 50-50, right? When you hear it, it's like, oh, it's a little harsh. It wasn't that smooth, but I don't know, maybe some of you guys might say, that's all right, you know. So it's really I was thinking 50-50, but a lot of you guys said no. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so let's try another one. Okay, I'm assuming everybody now would probably say no. Okay. Now I'm nervous to try to play it good because I'm worried that you guys might say no. Okay, so listen to this. Yeah, I'm hoping I see a lot of P's. or a Y. Y, yes. I'm assuming that means yes. Okay, so you guys can kind of just hear the difference, right? Like when I'm playing and you guys can just listen and you guys are the judges, you guys can really hear everything and you guys can say, okay, pass, no pass, or something like that, right? But a lot of times when you're the one playing, you don't listen to yourself as closely as, when I'm playing, right? So I want you to try to think about that, okay? So you're in this competition. You got to do it. These two chords. Play it as nicely as you can. T, 3, 4. T, 3, 4, okay? And in your head, you're going to start to understand the sound you want and the stroke you want. But sometimes it doesn't come out. Like, it's very common where, okay, this is the sound that I want. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is what I want. But maybe sometimes my thumb might get stuck and it might sound like this. And in my head, I'm going to know, like, I didn't hit it good. That wasn't a good one. But that's okay, right? Because you're just practicing. But you're always trying to shoot for something. I think in the beginning, a lot of you guys might be more concerned about the chord. Like, oh, what chord was it? F major 7. Wait, was it? I think it was like this. Yeah, okay, F major 7. Wasn't it E minor 7? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I got it. But actually, you're just focusing so much on your fingers that you're not even listening to yourself, right? Okay, so try it. Give it a shot. T. Oh, first chord, F major 7, right here. These two strings. So I'm using my middle finger to hold down the two strings. Like this. And then to the E minor 7. Okay, so let's just pretend that, all right, everybody pass. Okay, so now we're in the next round. Okay, now if you're trying these chords and then like you cannot, you have a hard time holding it or it sounds like this. Okay, you have to know, I gotta practice that one string. Okay, and then holding a chord, especially if it's a difficult chord like this and you're not used to it, it does take time. It takes time to keep trying it. Wait, let me put this down. Let me do it. Oh, there you go. Okay, so it does. It takes time to actually practice a difficult chord so that each string comes out nicely. Yeah, the thing is you just have to kind of be honest with yourself, and if it sounds like this, oh, gotta fix that. Okay, next one. Oh, not there. Okay, I got it. So you have to, and then your hand will get very, very tired, and then you're gonna have to, stretch it out and things. But, that's what you need to do. That's how you need to practice, right? In this situation, with this game, this challenge we're pretending we're in, okay? And it's very easy to do this also, right? And just go, good enough. 2, 3, 4. Good enough. What's the next chord? I want to learn the rest of the song, right? So you kind of want to try to avoid that. But I do understand that it's always fun to try to keep moving forward and learn new songs. But at some point, when you're practicing, you have to try to discipline yourself to get the chords smoothly, okay? And you make the chords sound clear. All right, so we're going to move on from the F major 7. We go to the E minor 7. Now the next chord is a D minor 7, so we just slide down 2 spaces. And the last chord is your C major 7. I know you guys are thinking, oh, I love this chord. Okay, so there's 4 chords. F major 7, E minor 7, D minor 7, and C major 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, Yeah, so Angie, that's a very common thing. Like, to be honest, there's no way I could play this left-handed nicely. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't pass, but let me try. And then the thing is, on my left, this hand, my right hand, my nails are a little long, which makes it more difficult. But the first one, oh, I'm out of tune. Oh, so let's see. Wow. Oh, there you go. Oh, you know, I just realized is I cannot. Yeah, okay, so this is interesting too. I just kind of learned something. Okay, when I hold a D minor like this, okay, if you look at my middle finger, you see how it bends over here? This is what allows me to hold two strings with one finger, is this bend. Okay, but left-handed, I realize that I cannot get that bend. This is the most I can do it. Where my left hand, I can bend pretty, that's a pretty big bend there. Okay, so that changes everything now. If I cannot bend my finger, maybe I have to use two fingers. No, better. I gotta try to get comfortable with the right stroke. And if you guys can see how my fingernails are kind of long, so I can't use fingertips here. So it does kind of make it hard. And normally I would tell my students, just trim your nails down. But like I don't want to do that because when I play right-handed, I want my nails, right? So, oh, there's all kinds of problems. But anyway, so it's about just trying to hold the chord and trying to get that stroke. So I would actually, knowing what I know, I would be stuck on this one chord, oh, for a long time. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for me to try to move on if I can't even play this one chord, right? So even if it took me hours a day to practice, um, that's pretty much what I would do. Like, um, I don't even want to try the E minor 7 chord if I can't hold the E minor, I mean the F major 7 chord, right? So that's kind of how I want you guys to, oh, the tenor, yeah, so that's one of the prototypes. Um, okay, yeah, that's fine too. So I guess, right, I mean, if you cannot bend your finger, you would have to hold it this way. F major 7. Maybe you would have to hold it this way. Oh, E minor 7. Right, so you see I'm using two fingers here. D minor 7. And then our favorite chord, C major 7. Okay, so same thing, like the only reason why I can hold it like this, no problem, is because if you look at my fingers carefully, I'm using fingertips. So on my left hand, this hand, I don't have any fingernails. So my nails are short, so I can use fingertips. Yeah, and that's why I can get a clean sound. When I go to the E minor 7, same thing. I use these two fingers, right? And I can use, if you notice, I'm using fingertips. And that's why I can get a clean sound. Okay, So that's good. So I actually just learned something today too, as far as, because we started playing when we were kids. So this bend, I kind of take it for granted, thinking everybody can do this. But it is difficult. Okay, so now if you have to use two fingers, just know that if you use two fingers, you can still get a nice sound. Okay, so give that a go. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and I'm assuming that if a lot of you, if you've never used the D minor 7 chord before or the E minor 7 chord before, I believe you're going to have a lot of buzzes and, it's not going to sound clear. And you're probably going to have to be honest with yourself and say, if I was doing this in front of judges, I probably wouldn't pass, okay? And your whole goal when you practice this is to feel confident that I would pass. So if I did this, I would feel confident. 2, 3. So I didn't like that stroke actually, but try it again. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And I feel confident that I would pass. And the judges would say, okay, I mean, there's nothing, what I'm trying to do is play it so that there's no reason they would like say, no, I don't want to pass you. Like, was there any buzzes? No, there wasn't buzzes. Was I really aggressive and really strong with the string? So I didn't do that, right? So I'm trying to just think about, I want to pass, and if I just play it nicely and clearly, okay, as long as I do that, then I feel confident, okay, I would pass. Okay, so take a minute or two, go for it, just practice it. And just remember, if your fingers are getting a little tired or something, just rest, okay? It's more about muscle memory, so you try to hold it correctly, even if you have to hold it this way. It's more about muscle memory, so trying to practice this like 1 hour straight and your hands are killing you and you're gonna, no, I'm gonna practice. It doesn't make sense because muscle memory actually kicks in when you break, when you take a short break, let your fingers kind of remember the motions. Okay, it's not worth straining yourself because I don't believe that helps. So far, are there any questions? So I actually like the feel. I don't, the tenor that we have, so actually we went through a lot of samples. So this is not wait, if I'm not mistaken. This is not the final prototype, the final sample. But this ukulele was a little bit towards the end. So we did get a sample. I like the sound. I can't really say if I like it more because of the way it's made, but because it's a tenor, right? The body is a little bigger. So you do get a little bit more projection, when you play, a little bit more sustain. But in this case, so the new tenor is going to be solid mahogany. Our soprano long neck was actually laminate mahogany. And the reason for that is actually we had a sample of the mahogany, solid mahogany, and we had the sample of laminate mahogany. But then on the soprano, we definitely liked the sound of the laminate mahogany better. So that's kind of the interesting thing, right, is that solid mahogany is just more expensive than laminate mahogany. So, a lot of makers want to go solid mahogany and just charge more money. But for Jake and I, because we play, we both know that just because it's solid mahogany, it doesn't really mean it's going to sound better. It really depends on how it's made. And I've heard many ukuleles that are solid koa. Again, koa is expensive, right? And they don't sound good because of the way they're made. Okay, so I think that that's kind of important. But with this one, we had the samples, and then we had a few laminate mahogany. We had a few mahogany samples, and the solid mahogany on the bigger body definitely made a difference. So in this case, we decided to go with the solid mahogany. But every decision we make towards the designing of the ukulele is all about sound and feel. Like, Jake and I, we have no interest in inlays and, and trying to do fancy things, which is nice, it's nice to have, but to me, all the physical appearance stuff, that's always going to be preference, right? Um, so we try to, well, mostly Jake, we try to focus more on the sound and the feel. But even though I like the sound of the tenor, of course, it doesn't come close to like a kamaka, right? Because they definitely know what they're doing. But of course, kamakas are a lot more expensive than what you can buy that's imported, I guess. But yeah, kamakas are definitely by far the best ukuleles that Jake and I have played. I mean, more because it fits our style of playing, you know? Okay, so let me ask you guys, is there anybody who's very confident that they could pass with these four chords? The new Shima ukulele, I mean, the tenor will probably be available. What what month is this? What are we, May? No, June. We're in June, right? Oh, next week is 4th of July. So July, August. I want to say maybe September. Maybe around September it'll be available. Okay, so is there anyone very confident that they would pass? And you guys would be willing to just play it for everybody? No? Come on, there's more. We have to there's more to it than just these chords. We have to add the melody. Oh, okay, so I kind of messed up that riff a little bit. So in my head, it would be like, oh, 50-50. Maybe I might pass or I might not pass, right? But the whole idea is when I'm practicing, I'm actually focused on what I'm trying to do, like the sound, everything, the sustain. That's what I'm working towards, okay? And I know that a lot of you guys might practice like this by going, what was it? Oh yeah, F major 7. And then what? Okay, slide from D to E. And then what? E minor 7, B, and then what? Oh, D minor 7, and then oh, and a C major 7, right? And then in your head, you're thinking, right? Oh yeah, I got it. I got it. Oh yeah, okay. Okay. So you're gonna start practicing it the same way over and over and over. But now I'm trying to get you guys to focus a little bit more on just your total sound, the total. Can you pretend you're playing in front of judges? Oh, Jake is on. Let me see. Yo,
Hey man.
what's up? Hey, you wanna add anything to as far as any tips to getting a good sound?
No, that's good. I think yeah, just take your time. Just taking your time, I think is always good. Practice everything as slow as possible
Mm,
just to
all right.
develop, the control.
Mm, all right. You guys got that? Okay, so take a couple of minutes. And just try to play each chord as nicely as you can. Practice different strokes. And what you're trying to do is, so one thing I really realize now when I was trying to do it left-handed and right-handed is that with my left hand, when I play left hand, my thumb, okay, this thumb right here, okay, when I play, like right now I can tell I haven't developed any kind of feel. So like it's hard for me to feel like, oh, that's a good chord, right? Because I don't have the feel, I kind of feel like sometimes my finger will get stuck. So what I'm trying to do is develop some kind of feel here. Like, what's a nice chord? That's better. Better. So the advantage I have of trying to learn left-handed is that I can always compare it to how it feels when I play right-handed. Okay? And to be honest, if I was just a beginner, just learning, I wouldn't be able to understand what it feels like or what it's supposed to feel like right-handed. So I actually like this sound, the way I'm playing the chord. I feel like over the years I've developed some kind of feel for it where I can consistently get this tone right here, this sound. Okay, not a aggressive like that, right? My fingers aren't getting stuck in the strings like this. So I've kind of developed a motion, like a nice feel for this sound and this chord. Okay, so that's what I want you guys to try to. I mean, at some point you have to kind of trust me. Like, even though you don't have that feeling yet, you have to trust me and just believe that. Okay, well, Bruce said, you can develop some kind of feeling with your right hand, and eventually you're gonna catch on to that. Hacks for F major 7, the pinky finger. Jody, what do you mean? F major 7? Jody, I don't quite understand your question. Like, do you want an easier way to try to hold F major 7? The pinky finger. Oh, are you talking about the D minor 7? So the D minor 7, yeah, you have to hold the D minor. And yeah, you can use your baby finger here. Are you talking about, I know you could hold it this way. This could be a F major 7. Pinky finger on C string. Wait, Jody, you want to just unmute so we can talk about it? I'm a little confused. I'm always confused.
Okay, what chord did you say? I thought you said F major 7.
Okay, so F major 7 is this one here, right? Where we hold these two strings. This is the first chord, F major 7. So it's just these two strings right here.
Okay, that's different than my chord chart.
Okay. And then after that, yeah, then you have your E minor 7. That's this one. You can move it down to D minor 7. Then your C major 7. So nobody is confident enough where if this was the like the American Idol thing and you have all your judges and you just have to play these 4 chords.
No.
2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Definitely. Okay, if your fingers are cramping, take a break, okay? But this is kind of like your new challenge. Like, what about next week? Would you be able to practice enough this week so next week you're going to feel confident and you're going to say, yeah, I would play this in front of everybody. Okay, that's the idea. So, however you practice this week, your goal is to build that confidence where you develop that feeling for your right with your right thumb. Your left hand, you kind of feel comfortable holding the chords, and then you're going to say, okay, next week I would do it. And then you're just going to come up and say, all right, everybody, listen to this. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay. So
Okay,
imagine that.
sorry, Bruce. I gotta bail, but I'll see you. I'll catch you later.
Okay. All right. Thanks for hanging out.
Fishing tomorrow.
Fishing tomorrow. Yeah.
Sounds
What
good,
time?
everybody. And I think Linda said she's gonna play it for everyone.
All right. Sounds
Okay,
good. Look forward to that. All right. Thanks, James.
I'll see you later. Okay,
Okay.
bye, everyone.
Okay. So when you're yeah, so now imagine that, right? If that's the goal is to practice it next week and build the confidence and just feel like I'll play it in front of everybody because I know these chords and I the feeling, the sound that I'm getting, I love it. I want everybody to hear it, okay? So if that's the goal, the way that you practice starting today will change. I think for most of you, the way that you normally practice versus now, you might actually practice a little differently, and that's a good thing. So that's what I want. I want you guys to do. I mean, like even when we're performing, like when I have to play a few songs, do a performance, or when Jake has to play a few songs, the way that we practice, I'm always thinking like, okay, I'm at a show, and let's say there's 1,000 people, and I'm gonna play it. I'm trying to imagine that, and that's kind of what kind of like I practice, and in my head I'm in a concert, so I'm practicing for that situation. Um, Sometimes we don't have that thought, right? We don't have that goal. So when we're practicing, what are we imagining? And usually nothing, right? We're just kind of looking at our fingers a lot. Okay. So I'll give you guys. I'll give you guys. Maybe I'll give you guys a good 4 minutes to really focus on this, and then I'm gonna break it down to just the first two chords. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And I'm hoping I'll give you guys 4 minutes to practice just those first two chords. And I want to, I'm hoping that somebody will have the confidence to do it, And just so that you don't worry, I'm not gonna ask everyone to actually judge you, So if you're worried like you might not pass, okay, nobody's gonna judge you. I just want to hear something, and we can kind of talk about it from there. So just the first chords. Okay. So everybody got. Oh, so the name of this song is called. I don't know if it's called just Loving You, or Loving You is Easy Because You're Beautiful. No, it can't be that long, right? Maybe just Loving You. You never heard this song before, Ariel? Okay, good.
I heard
But
this
right
song
now,
before. Yes. Yes.
okay. But right now we just
Thank you.
working on the chords. So we're not actually throwing in the melody yet. Okay. Let me refill my coffee. Okay. So you guys got some work to do. Okay. 2 more minutes left. Go for it. I'll be right back.
Damn, 7.
Oh, Kazu, did you play? Wait, I missed it. Okay, try
Hi,
one more time. Okay, how are you doing?
good.
Good. How's uh, how's everything in Japan?
Today's rainy day.
Oh, all
Oh,
right.
okay. Yeah.
Okay, let me hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So what I want to hear is no. So that's good, but you're kind of changing it, right? You're doing a little more like a. I want to hear just one chord, just every chord, and just let it go, and let it go, let it go. It's good. Okay, good. So I understand that the audio quality is not good because
Yeah.
we're on Zoom, right? But I on the D minor 7, I did
Yeah.
feel that your finger got a little stuck. Like it came out a little aggressive. So F major 7 was really nice, and then your E minor 7 was really nice. Your D minor 7 was a little more aggressive, just a little bit. And then your C major 7, because that's the last chord, I think you just kind of like finish, like really strong, finish, but try to keep everything smooth. T, 3, 4, T, 3, 4, T, 3, 4. Yeah. Well, one more time. Getting there. Good. I like that. All right. Good job. So actually,
Thank you.
Kazu is from Japan. He's a really good friend of mine. So every time he comes to Hawaii or I go to Japan, we usually go out together. So he's a good friend. That's why I'm comfortable telling him like, no, a little too strong. Maybe I don't know if I'd be able to do that with everybody else. Good. Okay. So that sounds good. So can everybody like I know that the sound quality is very difficult. So I'm actually listening more for just the aggressiveness in your playing, and I'm trying to listen for the sustain, so that so if you do this, maybe the first one, I can't. When I hear something like this, I don't think it's the best chord, but I can't really tell if it's the audio or if it's your playing. So I'm just kind of letting that go. But what I'm listening for is, I'm kind of hoping that you get a nicer, very clean, natural sound, and not a aggressive sound like this. Can't get F minor 7. Wait, F major, the first one? Did you try using 2 fingers? And then E minor 7. So actually, okay, so if you watch this, okay, F major 7. If you're holding it like this, so I'm using my finger number 2, middle finger on the top string, and my ring finger on the C string. Now from here, what I'm going to do is just move down 1 space and add my pointer finger here, add my baby finger here. Okay, so F major 7 here, move it down, add this finger here, add this finger here. E minor 7. Now from here, move everything down 2 spaces. And then from here, what I would do, just to make it smoother, instead of letting everything go and then holding this, I would probably just use my baby finger and just go this way. Just so it's a lot smoother, right? 2, 3, 4. Right? Instead of doing this, right? You hear the sound stop? So I could probably get a smoother sound like this. Okay? So how's everybody doing with these chords?
Here.
Coming along? Okay, so it is kind of difficult, and like I was saying, I don't know if you guys remember, I think a lot of you guys know the G7 chord by now. I'm assuming a lot of you, or most of you, I would think, when you first learned the G7 chord, it kind of seemed like an impossible chord, right? Normally you'd learn C chord, you go, oh, I like this chord. F chord. G7. G7. Right? And then everybody says, I hate G7, I hate G7. But after a while, you practice it, now you just naturally go to G7. The D minor 7 chord, E minor 7 chord, it's the same thing, okay? You're going to say, I hate this chord, but as you keep trying it, you're going to notice your fingers will just kind of start going there. And I want to say it's almost similar to typing. That sounds good. Oh, Jody, that's you, right? Playing, Jody? Is that you? Or did you accidentally unmute yourself?
No.
That sounds good. You're getting there.
I don't know what I'm doing.
AV, yeah, that's correct. F major 7, E minor 7, D minor 7, C major 7. That's correct. Okay, Ariel, have fun at work. Don't work too hard. Okay, so today's lesson, I really wanted to throw this out to you guys, this new chord. And it's not that this is an important chord, right? To me, there's really no such thing as an important chord, but it's more about making your fingers do something that you can't really do. And okay, just curious, okay? Everybody uses a computer now. Um, I want you to comment and say me if when you type you use the home row keys and then you type. You know, so A, S, D, F, and what is that? J, K, L. Okay. Okay, now I want you to write me if you don't use home row, and then you type like this. Okay, so now just comment and say me if you're the person that kind of types with one finger at a time. Half? Half? That's like weird. So what do you do? Like A, S, D, F, and everything else is one at a time. Okay, good. So the reason why I'm asking you this question is because I want you to think about it, right? How did you learn to use the home row keys and type like that? Doesn't that kind of seem impossible? Like you have to memorize exactly where each letter is, and you have to remember exactly where each number is. And I know that a lot of you, if you use home row keys, you guys can actually type with your eyes closed, okay? So does that mean you actually memorized every single thing on the, it's not quite like that, right? Because I use the home row keys too, and I can type with my eyes closed, but it's just like when you say W, the muscle memory, your ring finger wants to go up there. Like it's just how you train your mind and the motion, okay? That's muscle memory. That's exactly what it is, okay? So although it seems impossible, it is. You're just training yourself so your fingers remember the motions, and you'll just go to whichever letter you need to go to or whichever number you need to go to. So holding a chord is the same thing, okay? You're trying to, yeah, so that's all it is. We're trying to build muscle memory. And a lot of you guys might feel that, man, this chord is impossible. But actually, every single chord that you have to play, you know, is muscle memory. So every single chord would be difficult to hold until you train yourself to go to this chord, okay? So in my head now, it's almost like typing. It's almost like typing where when somebody says D minor 7, I just go here. I'm not thinking like, oh wait, where was it? Oh yeah, D minor 7. So the muscle, you say E minor 7 here, okay? You tell me G minor here. Like as my brain hears G minor, my fingers want to do something, okay? Now I would have a really hard time if you tried. I wouldn't even get into that, but that's kind of what it is. So you're trying to get into that you're trying to train yourself when you say D minor 7 here, okay? If I say hold this G chord, most of you guys want to go here, right? So that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to train yourself like that. Okay? But even something like typing, if you type like this and somebody tries to teach you how to type with home row keys, wouldn't you think like that just kind of sounds impossible? Because you're thinking, man, wait, I have to memorize every single letter. Like I can't do that. Like if you ask me where's B, right? You got to kind of imagine your finger and then, but you don't, yeah, it's weird. Only your fingers know where B is, but your brain doesn't know where exactly, like how many keys on that row before you get to B. Like, yeah, we don't know that, okay? So, and then, Jody, was it you who was asking me about the chords? Um, so I think you're asking about the chords, something about like, you read something like there's 120 chords. I believe that was you, right? You sent me an email. But anyways, that's the same. So Jody was kind of saying that, you know, she had a book or something, or she realized that there's 120 chords, or maybe more than 120 chords, and she was asking, how, like, should she try to study and memorize all the chords? And my response was, you should learn the chords as you need to use them. Like, no sense learn a C diminished chord and you're never going to use it. As you play songs, you start to learn new chords. Like today, I think for a lot of you, you learn maybe 4 new chords: F major 7, E minor 7, D minor 7, and maybe C major 7. Right, so now that we're using it in a song, yeah, good. So now that we're using them in a song, you want to try to remember the names. Because, like I said, it's about training your fingers. So later on when I say C major 7, oh, C major 7. B flat, oh, B flat. D, E flat. So my fingers, it's kind of close to like typing. I don't know exactly where the T is. I don't know exactly how many actual keys there are, individual keys, like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I don't know any of that. But somehow I just know when my fingers are here and I close my eyes, I can type the letters, right? So I don't know how to explain it, but the ukulele is kind of the same thing, right? I'm trying to tell you, no, it's just muscle memory. Keep practicing the chords and it'll get easier. But it seems like it won't get easier. But somehow it just does, just muscle memory. E minor 7. There is actually, no, but you need the B in there. I mean, there's definitely other E minor 7s like this. But I really like this voicing better because I like how it goes from here. Slide down, add these 2. Slide down. And then C major 7. Yeah, I think you should practice this voicing, and mainly because I'm assuming. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Wendell.
Sorry, I got a question.
Okay, no
So,
problem.
so when you're practicing, and just for example, shutdown, the beginning of shutdown, would you suggest that you learn the notes, the placement of your fingers for the notes, and then add on the tapping of the G string, and then the pull off, or learn
No,
all
so
3
like,
at the same time and just go slowly?
okay, so for example, like a song like this, because it's so fast, I wouldn't suggest trying to learn each note like, like, okay, E flat, pull off, tap, D, pull off, tap, B flat, pull off, tap, A flat. Like, because it's so fast, right? I'm actually relying on muscle memory, like completely 100% muscle memory. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get comfortable with this. Now, when I teach it, right, because I want to try to explain to you how to play it, then I mention the notes, right? Okay, so hold down. This is like your C minor. Go to E flat here, right? And then you're going to maybe strum. You're going to pull off, tap. Now I'm going to go to high D. So I use the notes to teach it so that you can understand it. But when I'm playing it, it's 100% muscle memory. So, like, I don't even know what notes. I mean, I could break it down. Like, basically, I'm playing a E flat. Now I'm playing a high C, right? So I call it the pull off, but I'm actually playing a high C. So I could think of it as E flat, C, G, the tap is a G, D, C, G, B flat, G, G, A flat, G, G, and then I could break it down that way, but the song is too fast to actually comprehend all of that. So what I try to do is practice slowly and just get that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, G, C. And all I'm I'm trying to do is just try to rely strictly on muscle memory. And I know that if I keep doing this, my fingers will kind of get used to it, then I'll go a little faster. A little faster. A little faster. And then I don't know if, I think it was last week, I was talking with Mark in the intermediate class. I saw a video of him, I saw a video of Mark playing it slowly. Like he posted something on Facebook and he just said, oh, practicing the ukulele. So I saw it, and what he was doing is slowly he would do this. Oops, sorry. Oh, more time. And as I was watching, I said, hey, that's perfect. But then when he went fast, he would change it and it would go like this. So what happened is, as he went faster, he changed the timing. So what you want to do is slowly increase the speed, because this is exactly how the song goes. It's just faster. But you have to train your fingers so that your muscle memory, it keeps doing the same thing, but just everything is a little bit faster. But what Mark did is he took it slow, and then instead of relying on muscle memory to get faster and faster and faster, he took it slow, and then he just said, I'm just going to try it fast. And that's usually what happens. When you think of it as, okay, slowly, and then you say, I'm just going to try it fast. So that's basically you just, in your head, you're saying from slow, and your brain is telling you fast. But actually, you have to get your muscle memory to slowly increase speed. Okay, so your brain cannot just take over and say, all right, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, fast. You got to control, rely on muscle memory. So hopefully that helps. But in a song like that, Wendell, yeah, anything at that speed, it's really hard to rely strictly on notes and everything.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Muscle memory. All right, cool.
Thanks.
And then, Chu, I hear a question about E minor 7, and you're asking, should you, is there an easier one? And I told you this is E minor 7. So I could go dun, 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 dun. Okay, so the chord works. This E minor 7 will work. However, I don't want you to use this E minor 7 because I know that you want to use it just because this is a difficult chord. I want you to get comfortable. This is only a difficult chord for now. Okay? So instead of trying to, do this E minor 7 because you don't want to learn this one, I would suggest practicing it because you have to use this D minor 7 anyways. So if you are going to use this D minor 7, then your E minor 7 is the same thing. Okay? I'm sure you can do it. I was like that too growing up, like a B flat chord. Oh, is there a different B flat? Because I don't like this chord. And then any good teacher was supposed to encourage you to, no, it is, it's a difficult chord, but you can do it if you just practice it. And, and like I said, you're relying on muscle memory, so you don't want to, hurt yourself, like your hands are really sore. Just, try it, put it a couple of times, let the strings go back, B flat, or in this case, D minor 7, or E minor 7. So let your hands go. E minor 7, you put your fingers, however you're going to hold it. You go, okay, E minor 7. Okay, let your hands go, try it again. Okay, and all I'm doing is just trying to train my fingers to go to the right spot. Take it off. And then eventually, so like when I hold it, right, I'm trying to go back, let go, come back. And then eventually what's going to happen is your fingers can just go. In the beginning, right, you're trying to go finger number 1, finger number 2, finger number 3. Again, finger number 1, finger number 2, finger number 3. But eventually you'll be able to just go to it. Muscle memory. Okay? All right, so let me start. Are there any questions? So what I want you guys to do, out of everything we talked about today, I want you to work on these 4 chords. Okay? And you're not allowed to change it. Okay? You're not allowed to. That sounds nice too. Okay, but you're not allowed to change it. You're only allowed to just go down 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4. Okay, so we're all gonna play it the same. And don't forget what I told you, okay? Let's pretend, I'm not gonna force anyone to play, but let's pretend that our goal is next week, we're all gonna play this individually in front of everybody, and everybody that's watching is gonna be a judge, and we're gonna say either you pass or you don't pass. Okay, so just see, we're not actually gonna do that. I'm not gonna force anybody to be on the spot. But as you're practicing, I want you to feel like, okay, that's my goal. My goal next week is I'm gonna play this in front of everybody because I'm confident that I can hold the chord, and I'm confident that I can get a very good sound. Okay, yeah, so there definitely is. I'm not sure what chord book you have or your chord chart, but like, let me see. Okay, let me check right now. If I were to go on Google, let's see. Why can't I find it? No, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just Google ukulele, E minor 7, left, right chord. Oh yeah, so okay, so basically I just typed in ukulele E minor 7 chord, and I can see something like, so this is just kind of the different ways of holding the E minor 7 chord. Yeah, so and then you have to remember, right? There's many different ways to hold a C chord, many different ways to hold a D minor chord or E minor 7 chord, many different ways to hold a F major 7 chord, and these are what you call voicings. Like if I can say, like if Jake told me, like, you know, hey, I want you to play a C chord. Okay, my first initial reaction would be to do this, right? But then Jake might say something like, no, you know what? Use this voicing. And this is also a C chord, right? Or he might say, use this voicing. This is also a C chord. Okay, so there's many different ways to hold the C chord, and you know, it's just different voicings. So normally, you know, this is the C voicing that we usually learn first. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think you should, the slang ones. I like that. Learn the slang. So I think right now, you know, because this is practice, right? Yeah, every time we learn a new song, and you know, you might say, oh, I didn't know that was an F major 7 chord, or oh, I didn't know that was a D minor 7 chord. But slowly you'll start to learn these, and even though you don't like the chord because it's difficult to hold, try to force yourself to get comfortable with it. Okay, because like the idea is not to actually play the song. I mean, the goal is not to actually play the song. It's about just trying to get a nice sound and I'm trying to throw in new chords, right? So now, if let's say though you guys were going to do a performance, okay? So now everything changes, okay? Because you're going to do a performance, you don't want to sound like this, right? 2, 3. Okay, so if that's the case, if there's a performance, yeah, we would definitely work on easier ways so that you could play it and sound the best that you can sound. Okay, but this is more just practice, so I want you to really try to get comfortable with the chords and don't run away from this chord because there's an easier one here, but you could do that. What an easier D minor be? I guess D minor with C. What am I missing here? Oh, my D note. This could be like a D minor 7, right? You're holding I have my D, my F, and my A, and I'm adding a C. But I don't like this voicing, but you could use this as your D minor 7. Okay, so yeah, it's funny, like just about any question, like anything you want to know as far as chords, I think you can just Google a chord, just ukulele chord, write down the chord and maybe chord chart or something, and they're usually you can find it. Yeah, there's a lot of things on the internet now. Okay, so do you guys have any questions? And hopefully next week we'll be able to throw in the melody. Okay, so as I play this, I'm already thinking when I go from, I'm playing the B melody here, but when I slide down, the sound stops, right? Did you hear it stop? So I don't like that, right? So now I got to try to think of how I could make it smoother. So maybe I need that sound, that slide. Yeah, so now just to connect it, because I don't like the silence of doing this, stop, move, maybe I have to slide it down. Hear that? So I'm basically sliding it. So now I'm trying to keep this sound. One more time. Does that kind of make sense? Well, that's later down the line, but I'm always trying to connect the notes somehow, right? So sometimes the chord makes it difficult to connect the note, but you got to try to be creative and find a way. Okay, so next week, hopefully a lot of you guys will say, I'm ready, I'll do it, and you're gonna go. And I'm sure, if you do it like that, everybody will say pass, 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 pass. There's no reason to say don't pass, right? Okay, so I hope this gives you guys something to work on. And this applies to everything, you know, if you want to go back, and I know maybe some of you already learned falling slowly. You can stop there. Could you play this first line? And you think you could pass? If not, then figure it out, right? Like, why wouldn't you pass? Oh, because the notes aren't connected, or there's a buzz, or I'm playing too aggressive. Right, so if you're playing like that, you have to tell yourself, right, okay, I know I wouldn't pass, but what is it about my playing? How can I change my playing? What do I need to do so that I can be certain that I would pass, right? And like I said, even if it's just 3 notes. Okay, so if everybody had to play these notes, you know, would you be able to pass? E, F, G. Okay, so you see I'm kind of connecting the notes, and these little things, no matter what the notes are, you know, you want to build the confidence where you feel like, where you can actually listen to yourself and feel like, yeah, I like that it was well connected, there was no buzzes. If I had to play this in front of judges, I think they would pass me, okay? And if you don't have that confidence, you know, that's what you're trying to build on. So remember that, because that's going to change and it's going to affect the way you practice, which I believe is a better way to practice. When you're trying to think, you're going to play in front of a bunch of judges and everybody's going to play the same chords, the same notes, right? So the judge is going to have to hear, if there's 50 people, the judges are going to have to hear the same thing 50 times. And they're going to take the 25 people. They're going to say, all right, you pass, or you don't pass, you pass, you don't pass, okay? And that's what you kind of want to work on this week. All right? Are there any questions? Everybody is good? Okay, so I'll look forward to next week, 4th of July. We'll just continue as if there's, thank you. So yeah, so we'll just continue like it's not 4th of July. Yeah, I can't imagine that there's things to do, because 4th of July is just an American thing, right? And in America, I don't think, you know, we're going to be having any big 4th of July parties right now. So cool, maybe maybe I'll go pick up a bottle of scotch. Yeah, we can have our own little ukulele party. Oh, that sounds good. Scotch party. Ooh, I'm excited already. All right, you guys. So I'll see you guys next week. And then once again, let me just in case, let's see. Everyone, once again. Oh. Okay, so I just commented and I left my email address. So if anybody wants to send me a video or ask me a question, you guys can contact me anytime and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right, so you guys have a great week of practicing, and I'll see you guys on the 4th of July. Putting your flag on. Oh, that's cool. All right, you guys take care. I'll see you guys soon. All right.